Welcome to the first cohort of Inner Authority. Hi, Neha. A lot of familiar faces, so it'll be nice to just see all of you on screen together. Hi, Tanvi. Hey, Umesh. Samrata, Vaishnavi, Sujata. Hey, Anirudh.
Hey, hi,
Good to
Shailja.
see you. Hi,
Good to see you.
Preeti.
I
Hi. I'm audible to you guys? All good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Abhishek. Welcome.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, so we have a mixed group. It was intentionally kept limited. I just wanted this to be very close group. People know me, and we just spend good quality time together. I know this topic has generated a lot of curiosity. Inner authority in the age of AI, because I think the authority is not really in what's happening outside. Right? The authority needs to be reclaimed and to see what's happening to the human inside the speed. So that's what we are here for today. The expectation, I just wanted to put it out there. There are a lot of people who reached out and they asked me, is it about tools? Is it about anything which is to do with something new from technology standpoint? The people who know me well, Vaishnavi is smiling a little bit, and so is Neha. They exactly know what this workshop or this master class would look like. So I just want you guys to relax. It's a Saturday morning. Your time I have taken away from Thurandar and from your family members. So I am very aware of all of that. So we're going to make good use of your time. So please put your smiles back. Keep your notebook close to you. If you don't have one, please go grab one. And a bottle of water, coffee, tea, whatever you want to keep, get it now. You all good? Had your breakfast? All doing well?
Yes.
All right then. Okay, so a little bit about myself to people who don't know. So I am the founder of Unstoppable Network. Unstoppable Network is a platform which is largely for anchoring the human spirit in inner authority. So that's the sort of mission or a purpose which I have charted on. And we are creating a lot of enablement platforms for that. One is a conversational platform, which you guys might be aware of, which is the podcast. And then there is coaching, there are corporate labs, there are meetups. So there's lots happening around the inner authority, how to anchor the leader in the unstoppable spirit. So that's what we are rallying behind. And now with this, I'm going to start the masterclass. You guys can switch off your videos. Please be there. In case it gets boring, you can put your video back on and show me your yawns and your boring faces and expressions, so I'll know what to do next. Let me know once you can see my screen. Is my screen visible, guys?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. So, sigh of relief for the ones who were wondering, like, she's talking, what's next? So, yeah. So, we have, like I said, we have great content put together, which is largely to do with what all of us are basically facing currently. I've already shared a bit about myself, the founder of Unstoppable Network. I'm executive coach. I also host the podcast which I spoke about. For the ones who don't know, I have worked in corporate for 25 years in India, in Singapore, and a bit in London. And I have worked in global organizations which are content and media. So what are we here for today is what I really want to focus on, right? So the world is changing faster than our inner stability. Uh, at the end of the workshop and the masterclass, I really want to open it up as a forum for all of us to have a conversation as well, and share what is really going on at the beneath all of that which is being thrown at us in terms of the stimulus. I really want to like dig deep and say that, okay, AI is amplifying speed, there's pressure, there's expectation of leadership. But what is happening to the person behind the tools, the person who's sort of anchoring the entire leadership stance, which is going on there, right? So when I looked at the conversations out there, right? So there's lots going on, and I've been tracking all of that. I've been speaking to leaders in in-depth conversations. So there's lots happening in the space of prompts, tools, workflows, productivity, automation, speed, how it's going to just revolutionize the way we work, the way we live, the way we even imagine our lives in future. So nothing is going to be the same, right? So it's just going to be a new reset button which is being pressed. The last was during COVID, and now this is the second one, the way in which we are seeing it all. But if you look at the depth conversations, which are to do with what is happening to the human state, what is happening to the perception of leaders, are we being discerned? Is there judgment which is anchored in authorship? Are we actually taking control of the decisions which we are making? Is responsibility still anchoring with us rather than what's happening outside there? So these are some conversations I've had like in the last 2 months, and I've met leaders across the world, and all of them are super excited, but there is huge lot of concern in terms of how and what this is going to mean to all of us, and that's the reason why we are here today. So the risk is not that AI can think for us, right? So we all know that we started small, but it's become like a storm now, right? The risk is that we stop noticing when we have stopped thinking, because the speed of what AI is doing is technically it is sounding coherent. The speed is exponential, and it is making a lot of sense. So somewhere you would feel that, okay, I can just let go of what I need to do, what my interventions are, and just get pulled into, sucked into what is being provided as a solve. But is that really the right way of looking at it, right? So technically right now, the leadership weather right now is a perfect storm, like I said, right? This environment is acting on us. And if you look at what right now we are going through is hell of a lot of stuff. The ones who are working, the ones who are running their own business, who are students, who are basically aspiring to become, opening up their own businesses. Everybody is in a state of flux right now because you have control of literally nothing. There's acceleration, there's shrinking decision cycles, there's cognitive overload, and there's a continuous input which is happening, right? So visibility and comparison pressures are immense on individuals and leaders right now, even the ones I'm coaching. So the entire balance of how do you be visible versus the kind of work which we are putting together. So that itself is a changing definition and dynamics. There's completely less time to think. There is more need to judge. But these are some things which in some leadership forums, these things have come up. But I will want really you guys to also participate in a pool which I had put together. So if you can just put your cameras back on, that'll be very helpful. The ones who were, I can't see anyone right now. So if you can put your cameras on, I just want to ask you guys a quick question and just do the voting. You can put it down in your paper and pen, it's okay. Just go ahead and start doing your voting for this. So where are you feeling the most impact in your leadership right now? Is it in the acceleration and shrinking decisions? And you can take a minute. Is it the cognitive overload which you're feeling, that there is impulse of stimuli, of solutions coming your way, but your brain is not able to comprehend and sort of, work at the same speed? Is it the visibility and comparison pressure which you're going through? Is it less time to think? Or AI-enabled expectations of speed are exponential right now? And you, at one point, you are trying to learn new tools, but you're also supposed to implement them. but then also decide what the outcome would be. So far we've had 7 of 20. Interesting. Acceleration and shrinking decision seems to be featuring at the top, followed by visibility and comparison pressure. There
Can
are
we
more.
choose multiple?
Sorry?
Can we choose multiple options?
If it allows, and
Okay.
otherwise you can make a note of it.
Okay.
It allows choosing multiple options.
Go ahead. Neha, go ahead and choose then. "15 of 20, 5 of you are still left.
Hi, Shanja, this is Mimi. Is it possible to put it back on screen? For some reason, I'm not able to. And now I can.
Others able to see it?
I can see it. I can see it.
You can see it. Okay. Sorry. Okay, 3 to go. I think we are done. We've got the sense of where this is heading, guys. This is the state of mind of this room right now. Let's put it that way, right? So where we are in our leadership, every day you guys are going and you're facing your challenges. But at the back of it, the weather in the storm is basically, this is what it's showing. And this, I just want you to park this with you, whatever you've written down, which are your top 2, just put it down in your notebook. And I'll tell you what we can do at the end of the masterclass. Going ahead, this is the results. If you can see the results. Can you see the results on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, you can. Okay, so back to the leadership storm. So this environment rewards speed but does not protect steadiness. And what it means is that the risk in an environment like this is that somewhere when you are giving your judgment away, then almost you are giving your authority away and your judgment gets outsourced. So I don't know how many of you have felt this, and I'm happy to hear your perspectives. You can put it down in the chat box. When you're working with multiple tools, what technically happens is urgency gets accelerated because the speed of the output of the tools, what they're giving you, is obviously at a very high level. So the need to go ahead. The need to sort of respond and pause and do what we used to do in the world which we have just stepped out. Let's say last year was a different world. It's not there anymore, right? So AI should technically amplify our thinking and not replace the part of you that is thinking. So while there is a lot of banter around, that we can become very enabled, we feel very empowered using these tools. But the point here is that we should not become executable. When I say executable, the role doesn't have to shift, that who is in control and who's executing. So there is a very thin line there. And this is the warning which I just want to leave it in the room. Unless it's happening, not happening to you, you are in the thick of things of this, but you might experience this sooner or later. And when I put this sort of in the X and Y axis, and if you look at the X and the Y, if there's internal stability and external acceleration, which are pulling in opposite direction, the more stable leadership is under pressure, right? Then less the distortion happens in leadership. And when I say distortion, there's distortion which gets corrected through self-reflection. You pointed something out in yourself and you've seen something is coming up. It might come up in your body in some headaches or something happening in your tummy. But this is exactly how it will look like, right? So the visible breakdown at the top is, let's say you're feeling low, you're feeling failure, you're feeling burnt out, but technically it has happened long before. So like I was saying that the body knows before the mind admits, right? So there's something which has gone in out of alignment. Your judgment becomes suddenly borrowed in this AI environment. And the more judgment becomes borrowed, what happens is you become less and less present in that moment. And I'm not sure how many are feeling this, but this is what's coming across in sessions, in conversation, in interviews, that the more judgment is taken away from a human being and the presence gets gets lessened, the discernment, which is the decision making, the what is truth, what, and the through awareness, when you take some decisions, that becomes weaker, and that clarity becomes a reaction completely, right? So everything is that you're matching up the speed. I need to respond. There are outcomes connected. Okay, let me do the job. But somewhere at the top, the visible breakdown of all of this is only 10% right now. But where the leadership is heading and what research is showing, what conversations are showing to us is that leadership distortion is a huge mass which is sitting beneath it all. And gone are those days where leadership was sort of evaluated through performance. And we all come from that world that, okay, there are KPIs, there are results, there's outcome attached to it, but performance is one part of it. The journey for leadership going ahead in the next 10 years, we are assuming, is going to be a step back, right? It will be a step back where the leader has to think, evaluate, judge, and give the perspective even before the distortion has started. So this is where that tension is, and I want you guys to stay with this screen for a moment, because this is where the entire tension sort of is building up. Is building up for the entire industry, whichever industry you belong to. But a huge lot of work we have realized is that we haven't really put our efforts here in this area, where a lot of what's happening in the performance area. Now, again, I just want all of you to take your pen and papers out and look at these 8 signals of execution distortion, right? Just put down top 2 for you, and I'll give you like a few minutes to do this. There are 8 of them. Let's say I'm going to read all of them to you, so you sort of absorb it. So reactive decision making, when you have a deadline and this speed replaces your judgment suddenly. You are reacting at that time. Everything sort of becomes urgent, right? There's an urgent addiction where you feel everything is immediate. कि अभी करना है. This has to happen now. There is no way I can push it. There is some charge and energy happening in your body, in your mind, and you're not able to do anything about it. Shallow listening happens in meetings, happens with our teams when you are there, but you're not there because the presence has got compromised. Emotional leakage, when the pressure spills into tone and trust. And this, every leader who is true to what they're doing to themselves and to others would know that sometimes if you're not doing a lot of self-work, you carry a lot of that emotional leakages which do come into forums and which is unnecessary. AI-led thinking, where you are over-depending yourself on your tools, output starts replacing your judgment, and sometimes you let go because there are deadlines to meet. There's loss of reflection because we are not pausing. We are performing with this certainty that, okay, this is it. And, I am very certain and confident what the outcome should be, but it's a very volatile environment. This is another signal of execution distortion, which used to work earlier as leadership, but now it's just something which we put in this box. 8th is the identity rigidity, right? So then success makes reinvention harder, as we all know. You might be stuck to your old ideas, your dogmas, your value beliefs, value systems, and that also sort of creates this execution distortion. So just going to give you guys 1 minute, and you can put it down. You can put it down in the chat box. I'm going to look at Just quickly, you can put down your top 10 two distortions. I can share the screen again if you want it on the screen. Yeah.
Shailja, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Can you just explain performing certainty again? Because as you said, this was considered to be a asset, possibly,
Yes.
but now it is more of a challenge. So if you can explain that in detail as to
Yes.
why it is now a challenge.
Yes, no, that's a very good question. See, certainty is because the maps, the roadmaps of what we were carrying as leaders are not really going to take us into future. Okay. Is because what's happened in the ecosystem is also dynamically shifted and changed, right? So there is a constant learning the leader has to go through, a constant reinvention, and I will come to, some a very good section is coming up where literally the experts are saying that we will have 6 careers in one lifetime. And if you have to have 6 careers in one lifetime, then technically you need to keep relearning, right? New skills, new relearning. Every 20 years, new things are coming up. We are gearing up. COVID happened. Now this has happened. And then after 5-10 years, something else will happen. So what we have as a repository of our leadership skills is limited and it might get exhausted. That's the point this 7th point is making.
Got it. Clear. Thank you.
Okay, I'm looking at the chat box now. Urgency addiction, shallow listening. Abhishek is 2-5. AI urgency. Okay. Gargi, urgency addiction and loss of reflection. Neha, AI-led thinking, loss of reflection, identity, rigidity. Okay. Okay, so please, whatever you have put down here, put down in your notebooks as well. And I'll tell you at the end why I'm telling you to make a note of this. These are very important sort of indicators, areas where we need to start work, right? Preeti is talking about urgency addiction, shallow listening, reactive decision making. Umesh is also reactive listening. So, guys, thank you. Thanks for sharing your reflections in the chat box. So this somewhere is giving us a sense that this is a collective thing which is happening, right? Now all of us are together on the call. So it's not like something is happening in isolation to Umesh versus Abhishek versus Neha. I think a lot was in common from what I saw. Uday is talking about 2 and 6. Vivek is also mentioned. So urgency, addiction, less of reflection, loss of reflection is coming up hugely, right? So this, and I'll tell you what happens is, Abhishek, to your point, right? Like till the previous era, this, what we are seeing was an individual responsibility, right? Like I'm feeling this, I'm taking cut shots, I'm, feeling doing shallow listening. So these were all internal reflections. Now, my pushback is that this technically doesn't remain internal reflections because this becomes a business cost of inner instability, right? What we are seeing is that the leadership under pressure lacks the judgment, and because of that lacking judgment, there is instability, and instability could start with a distorted perception. Simply put, distorted perception, which leads to a weaker judgment. You are more reactive. Your team is even more confused. There is trust erosion happening, and there's slower execution because then you will start getting into the things which your team had to do because the trust erosion has already happened, right? The team is confused and they will put their hands away and they'll say, okay, no, we don't have any clear signals coming. We don't want to get our hands dirty in this volatile environment. So all this becomes a lot of operational cost, which shows up as confusion, rework, decision drag, and trust breakdown. This was happening earlier, having come from a very similar environment in corporates and media and content. But this is going to accelerate even more. And if it is not happening right now, I'll be hugely surprised. But happy to hear your thoughts at the end when we have a larger discussion. My perspective to this is the inner authority. And inner authority to everyone will be very different, right? Inner authority can refer to somebody who's stable, somebody who has worked on a lot of inner work. Simply put, inner authority refers to your personal decision-making process, the internal mechanism you can rely on to make decisions that are right for you. So each person's authority is unique and based on their design type. And this is something different which I'm bringing in today's masterclass. I'm not saying that one size will fit all, guys. Your inner authority key lies with you. And the design type is something which you have to work on as your own designer. And then it becomes like an inbuilt compass guiding you towards the most aligned choices. And whatever you've done so far, you have been fantastic leaders. You're doing so great in wherever you are in your jobs, in your personal lives right now. This inner authority already exists. So it's not that something which is like a key, which is going to appear suddenly. It is what you have built your inner operating system with over all these years. And why it becomes more important is because inner work cannot be occasional in life because of the daily pressure we just spoke about, right? The pressure is become ambient. Hence, the inner work also has to become ambient. And I'm talking and speaking to you after having worked in this inner authority for 25 years, and I feel I am getting challenged right now. And I think we have reached a time where now we need to make it more ambient rather than saying, I'm going to do this inner work on a holiday. I'm going to do this inner work on a weekend. I'm going to do this inner work in the morning hours. All that is gone. I don't think we are in a time right now which will give us luxury to even call something as a me time. And the dynamic of this is that we have to create that me time in a very dynamic way, which is basically available to us, and it is not something which we struggle with, right? So the regulation is not an emergency response, it becomes your daily practice. So that is where the inner authority piece lies. That is where this entire workshop is pivoting, because that's the axis where we are going to sit all of this what we are saying. And there was a time where we used to keep saying, yeah, kaun baithega, meditation karo, ye karo, you take a pause, you take a holiday. We don't have time to get up from our laptops. We don't have time to even take our eyes away from all the screens. The notifications keep popping up. But I can tell you this much: if anybody is talking about inner authority to you today, it is not possible without stillness, because stillness is that withdrawal, and it is the access, right, which will give you the entry into the non-rush states. The quality of yourself we bring, the quality of the self we bring, all the quality of perception we have. So let's say I'm talking about a mirror which is full of dust and muck and lots is happening there. And the only way to see that image inside is you will pick up something and you scrub the mirror and you'll say, okay, I can see it's very sharp now. And the stillness is that access, right? What stillness perhaps will give us back is a clearer perception. Like I was saying, it's less reactivity, it's wider access, and it's a cleaner judgment. All that was happening in the leadership distortion pyramid, which I showed you, where we are just seeing the tip of the berg. If we don't take a very immediate choice of going through the path of pausing, then this entire thing will become even more difficult. Even more difficult because the times have changed. Like there's more noise, there's more speed, there is more expectation. we will have to do a force quit. So if your laptop goes in a fix, what do? You go to a force quit. And I'm saying that if we are in a situation of force quit now, can we just go 5 steps back and 10 steps back? And in master classes like these, learn the inner authority reset. And that is what we are going deeper into the master class with. At this point, I just want to ask, are we all doing okay? Because I can't see you guys. Are you all okay? Everything is audible? Everything is fine?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
All audible.
Okay. Okay.
So far, so good.
All right. All right. Thanks. So the inner authority sequence and why in the age of AI this becomes important. You can see my cursor.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
When I'm doing this is where we are right now. All of us, including me, because what I am sharing in this masterclass is all the revelation in the last 2 months, right? And a lot of the lived experience. But this is where we are, okay? We are struggling with the judgment, we are struggling with the clarity, and then we are definitely not stilling ourselves. So all I'm saying is we have to reorient ourselves and go back here. Stillness to restore our access, clarity for clean perception, judgment for responsible choices, and wise use of AI to support without outsourcing. I mean, this is all English, right? Let's just break it down. If we are more coherent and we are peaceful and we are pausing enough, there's a lot of clarity which happens automatically because that's how our human brain is programmed, all right? And the judgment becomes clearer. And then you take the action on what you want to do with your tools and how, your workflows and all of that. And I want to take you through an interesting story here because otherwise it became very technical, I know, before this slide. Mr. Joseph Campbell, right? I don't know how many of you know the hero's journey. Can you raise your hands so I know the audience? Anybody knows the hero's journey?
Yes, I do.
Abhishek. Was it Abhishek?
Anirudh.
Anirudh, sorry, yeah, Anirudh. You know, okay, great. So, one second. Yeah, so the hero's journey is this is beautiful, guys. I mean, we're going to stay here for some time. It's a transformation model, okay? And it's a hero's journey which begins with a call. And all of us are this hero inside, okay? So it starts with a call and somebody wise will come and knock on your door. Hi, Neha. I think you are under pressure. I'm here to help. Would you like to open the door? And he was like, tough day, tough weekend. Refuse the call. Not interested. Okay, the hero keep walking again. It's a familiar environment, labels, titles, things people have told, our resume. Everything looks nice. It's an ordinary world. It's a known world. Gives the hero the confidence. Keeps walking. Then meets the mentor. Okay, the mentor says that, hey, you know what? I have walked this talk. I have lived this life. I want to share my experience with you. Will you come on a journey with me? Yeah. And Neha remembers that conversation, which was the first call of adventure. And she says, hey, okay, let's do this. Tell me what you have to share. And the mentor shares the experience which Neha subliminally and subconsciously was wanting to hear all her life. She walks, she finds the purpose is visible. She starts crossing the threshold. And once she starts crossing the threshold, she goes into the special world. And the special world is available, was available, just that she did not open that door of call of adventure, just that she did not trust the mentor 100%. It might take her maybe 10 years, 20 years to reach the crossing the threshold. But then on the way, she will find allies, she'll get tested, she'll find enemies, she will fine-tune her operating system, and then she'll approach the challenge of her purpose. There'll be ordeal, there'll be reward, there'll be road back, and there'll be resurrection, right? This is what we are doing every day. This is what we are doing in our lives. We might not be aware, but this is what the transformation model is all about. This is also another example I can give you is that larva to caterpillar to butterfly, right? So literally when larva becomes a caterpillar and caterpillar to butterfly, the all what is left of a larva gets into a caterpillar and all what is left of caterpillar gets into the butterfly to build the butterfly. But only if we are ready to hear the call to adventure, right? The fear, the anger, the resistance, the lost opportunity, the resentment, then I did not do this in life, I could have done this, is all because we are in this. We are here. Okay, the moment we cross the threshold, and there's an iota of a purpose which you can see down the line, right? You might say, okay, let me try this. Okay, it could be a new hobby, it could be a new skill. You might do it for 10 days, you might leave it on the 12th day. For whatever reason, your known life has called you back here. Come back. It's a new known title, known world. It's you're familiar with it. Don't go too far. Your own mind will keep pulling you back. So this is something which happened to me. Okay, so I just want to like share a bit about in context of this framework. There was a perennial deeper question which kept pulling me, right? So how do we remain clear, steady, self-trusting, even when situations are accelerating outside? I used to keep feeling I'm from a small town, from Himachal, from Shimla. When I moved to Delhi, the life was very fast. I used to look at these 2 lanes highways and 4 lanes highways and then flyovers and all of this, right? So it used to give me like a lot of cognitive overload. But somewhere inside, I used to feel, hey, you know, there has to be something which I hold on to, which will answer my questions, and I don't have to go outside for my answers always. And that's where my journey started. And my journey started out of curiosity. It just it continued for a long time. It also had sort of disruptions on the way. Sometimes the body knows before the mind admits. We all know, all of you know that in a high functioning role, the cost is the body. The body gets the first signals. If we refuse to listen to it, you know what will happen, because everything is interconnected. Your mind has taken the stress. It will go into your cellular system. Your cellular system gets activated. It gets manifested in whatever diseases or minor injuries you've had in life. So similar things happened to me as well. That was time to pause. I really didn't want to pause like that. Just lying down on the bed for 3-4 months I'm not able to move or pick up my neck because of a disc prolapse. But that's sort of, I think it was a boon in disguise, because what I discovered during that time was exactly what I felt, right? That there is something which is happening inside. The answers are coming from inside. It's not really, everything doesn't have to be dependent on outside. And that's a time I sort of started working on my operating system, which I'm going to talk about. And I started working towards it. So the success can outlive truth is something which I really want to share with you. This photograph which you see on the left, guys, is it visible? The screen is visible to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
The picture on the left is me sitting in a restaurant in London. Okay, and the picture on the right is 2 weeks ago in my office, Unstoppable Network. And the journey I took between the two pictures, rather what I showed you earlier, right? I'm just going to jump, sorry for this. From this picture, let's say, to this took me 25 years. And the reason I feel if I've taken 25 years and if my next 25 years, I can create something for people to anchor their unstoppable spirit, gave me that idea sitting right here in this restaurant that, you know what, I just want to build a platform which sort of enables people to continue their transformation journeys. I didn't have the tools at that time. I didn't know how I'm going to do it. I just knew that I want to do it. But it took me 6 years to reach here because success can outlive truth, right? A role can fit the resume after it stops fitting the self. So what technically happened was I came back from London. I joined Z Networks and I joined Omnicom. And that entire rush of whatever we do in leadership got on. But what I also realized was something very interesting, is that the reputation trap we are all falling for. First is that we spend a lot of time, money, our energy building that reputation, guys. It might take us 25 years, 30 years, whatever time it takes, 10 years maybe now, even lesser. And then another 25 years we take to hold on to that reputation, right? One is to build, one is to hold. And in this, we lose our purpose because when we started out, we were on a journey in the transformation model. But many times in your journey, there might be times, when somebody has come and told you, hey, call for adventure. Hey, you want to do something about this? Your mentors might have come on your way, right? So maybe I was open enough as a person, maybe the way I'm programmed since childhood, I'm open enough to let signals come in. And this became very concrete knowledge to me that, hey, this vessel which I've created, which is the organization, the title, is not really giving me that kind of fulfillment. And I need to create my own. So it was a very conscious decision to do what I've done. And the journey started in the last 18 months. So there was a lot of reflection, and reflection can create a stronger version of yourself. That reflection also started with, besides the mindfulness, breath work, and I'm also a trainer for that and a corporate leadership trainer. I also got into coaching, and I'm an ICF certified coach now. And when that happened, when the self-reflection window opened up for me, I realized that the only person who's keeping me back in this transformation is me. There's nobody outside. There was nobody outside because I would have walked maybe 20 times and gone back, 20 times and gone back. And something happened in the last 18 months and I have stepped here. And I just don't want to go back because that's the time you just realize that, yeah, purpose is bigger than the paycheck. And I just want to create something which is, substantial enough to leave behind. And there is a little bit of body of work of all these years. And this is what I sort of pulled everything into, right? This is how I return to my inner authority. So this is my practice for stillness, clarity, and flow. Maybe I don't talk about. It might just come in phases when I'm doing my podcast or in conversations with leaders. But all I'm saying is that at a body, mind, soul, social, community level, we all need to figure out our own inner authority, sort of a framework, right? So I have spent 25 years doing this, which is the breath work and meditation. And that's something I did walk the path, right? So that is one journey where I walked the path of transformation. Yoga, strengthening, I walked the path of transformation. So that's another journey. And you can have millions of transformations in one lifetime. So it's not like linear. When I showed you that transformation model, it's for multiple aspects of your life. Ayurveda, Panchkarma, reflective and practice through coaching, mentoring, writing. So when I spoke about stillness, right, and as a toolbox for stillness, I open this up. This is available to me because it's part of me. It's embedded in me. It is crystallized in me. I have maybe spent 10,000 hours here, 10,000 hours here, maybe 1,000, 2,000, maybe I have coached 1,000 people and 500 hours of practice professionally. So this is the area where a lot of the operating system starts getting polished. And I want to just go to the next slide and show this to you. And I would really want you guys to spend 2 to 3 minutes in building your inner authority, right? The stillness, clarity, flow. What is in the mind part, the soul, the social, the body, the breath, where the calling came, the call for adventure came. You heard it. Maybe you already on the journey, you are listening to some mentors. Maybe you already crossed the threshold. Maybe now is the time to sort of update that also. So just spend 2 minutes with yourself. Look at this sheet. This is how mine looks. This is again, if this is a lot of experience and lived work, but you can create yours, and it could be anything. It could be anything. So it's when you want to be still, you have a toolbox. You open up the ribbon, and this should come out. And this is what you keep working on continuously, right? Because that journey is that journey which I showed you, the transformation journey. Guys, just take 2 minutes. I'll keep quiet now. Just 2 minutes. You have your pen and papers. You can start. You can absorb, reflect. Are we good? Have you had some reflections? Yeah, Prasad, you want to ask something?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So I think someone else also asked this question, that what role does Ayurveda and Panchakarma have to play on inner authority?
Yes, so very good question, Prasad. And I've spent quite a bit of time, and like I told you, I've had like very extreme conditions because of stress, and which led to disc prolapse in my neck. When I was talking about that, I couldn't pick up my neck for 3 4 months. I've had like similar thing in my lower back as well. Yeah, so I think the traditional medicine, the allopathy sort of really didn't sink in much, right? So I just felt that it's just going to create more toxins, and I just have to wait for whatever the symptoms to reduce. So I went for something which is much more aggressively tackling the source of where it's happening. So in Ayurveda, it sort of cleanses the body by doing Ayurvedic massages, or there are a lot of other techniques which they do, diet and lifestyle control. And somewhere the stillness which happens through learning, through reflections or breath work or yoga strength happened for me also, right? So I did feel when the body cleanses, the mind cleanses, the mind sharpens, the mind becomes more peaceful, and then the reflections are better, the perception is better, my decision making became better, my presence in office became better. And this wasn't something which was, like just in my head. If I compare my time in the first 10 years and the last 15 years of my working life, and I think a lot came from the people who worked with me. So I knew that there is something which I'm doing right? So this is something which has worked for me, but not necessarily is going to work for everyone. And that's why I said, let's look at what your inner authority tool is. So today's workshop is not really about ye mera kaam kiya, ye aap le lo, you take it. One size will not fit all. It's far more complicated than that, right? So this is the operating system we are talking about, which has to get fine-tuned and built over a period of time. It is not going to happen in this masterclass also. So I'm just touching the tip of the berg, but there is a lot more which you can do. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes, it.
Shailja, I have one question. How does social play a role when it comes to inner authority?
How does social play a role when it comes to women authority? Because, and there are a lot of men in the room right now. Men do get to socialize by default, right? Because of whatever the social structures which we've been brought up in, the patriarchal society we have been part of. Women, the opportunities for us to be together as a community wherever required. It also sort of brings that clarity to mind in terms of where we are heading, and it doesn't become like a lone journey. So there is the entire journey at the top is anyway very lonely, Aarti. So if women are coming together and walking that path, it becomes a lot easier. And I just want to do a plug-in here of the AI. This research which is showing that AI is being adopted by women much more and faster. Also because the way our brains are programmed, we can multitask and do multiple things. And we love this, right? When AI throws back an answer and retorts, and we are like, okay, no, go deeper and do this and do multitask. So this is something which is just there. There's no research being done on this, what it means for us in future. But just communities, being part of communities, being part of conversations, being part of something which sort of enables your journey as, at the top better. So, and stillness, because perception will get clear. You learn from others, experiences, right? And that's exactly what the platform is also doing. I don't know if you've been watching the podcast. So we are decoding a lot of this, the inner operating system of all the guests who come on the show. And without them knowing, I tend to do this. And at the end of the conversation, they literally end up saying, we felt like it was a therapy session, or it was a coaching session, or it was more of, we went very deep, which we don't do on podcasts. Because like I said, when I'm saying that Unstoppable Network is all about anchoring the human, unstoppable spirit. So anything which we are doing is basically to do that, to ignite it, right? That you can go deep. And in that depth, you rediscover your operating system. And all of us have it. I mean, everybody in the call, you guys have an operating system. I'm calling it operating system. For the workshop, I've called it the inner authority reset. But this is it. And it requires work. It's not going to happen. It's not a tool. It requires work. It has to become so much part of your being that it is not anything different, right? So when you're talking, you're walking, if I'm talking breath work and meditation, it should show in my being, right? If I have done 10,000 hours, I don't have to really talk about it. It has to come out seemingly in the way I present myself, my talk, if I'm pausing, if I'm being reflective. Yoga and strength training, same. I mean, the lessons I've learned that, when you don't take care of your body, then what else can you take care of? That became very important to me, the yoga and strength, right? So that itself is something which then you have to, it's visible, then you kind of walk the talk. So when you are working your systems, guys, I want to quieten now, like I keep talking. So please tell me, do you have any reflections on what you put down? Anybody wants to share? Just a couple of people, raise your hands and please go ahead. Yeah, Pratishta.
So hi everyone. So basically, whatever you are saying, I am totally connecting for each and every word because I have also seen the corporate world, and now I am into yoga therapist and in yoga world. In short, I can say this is a big journey for me. And whatever you have said, I can definitely connect it because the way we were when I was working in corporate world, that time it was really required the peace of mind, the decision making, and the other prospectus what you have written in your in your chart. That time I was not connected with yoga, so something in my mind ki something should be there where we can take the fast decision. Some help should be there, but that time I was not connected with this structure. So when I connected with yoga and I started asana, pranayama, meditation practice, since I was in a spiritual journey since my childhood, so that was in my mind some peaceful corner. Like you said, something is in our body and mind which shows us some things around us, inside us, we should be connected. So when I started my journey, and that time I realized is why people who are connected in in offices, in school, even in teacher also, because I had work as a teacher also. So why I'm saying this, because we generally feel that teachers are very good. Teaching is a good profile in short, but when I work with them I find them very arrogant because they are like everybody is saying namaste, good morning, so they are ego becomes higher, and they don't want to listen to anyone. So that time I feel that this is not a good profession in my term. I'm not saying for others, but what I realized when I was there, then I moved to media industry in corporate world. There I was finding people very struggling with their emotions, their decision making, some jealousy parts, some competition parts are also there because life was not easy. But now when I came into yoga, that time I realized that if we started this journey before with doing other things, then definitely we can get settled in any sector. What this is my
Right.
prospectus.
Thank
So
you.
that
Thank you.
I realize, and that whatever you are saying now I can really feel because now I'm totally totally attended with that. So that's why.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Pratisha. Thanks for
Thank
sharing.
you.
Anyone else? Anyone else wants to share what you've written? Neha, please go ahead.
So, I think the task, the challenge today is to maintain a balance, to create that stillness these days because we're running fast. The world around us is running fast every day. And so for mind, it's important to be silent because it's always running, always thinking, so just to sit in silence for a while is what I can afford these days. On the other hand, body, because we're sitting all day, we're working in one place, so it becomes important for it to keep moving. Either it could be walking, yoga, any form of movement, even dancing. For breath work, again, to be observant about how you're breathing, deep breathing, and just observing your breath. That is something at least possible I think I can do. For socializing, being in touch with old friends, family, rather than just hanging out randomly because we're hanging out with office people all day. Yeah, so maintaining those very deep, important relationships is important. I think something that is lacking for the soul part for me is to do something beyond what we do every day. Yeah, so having some hobby, some interest, some passion projects is something that is a challenge right now with
Right.
your time being spent in adapting to AI and innovations every day.
Right. So, thanks for sharing, Neha. And I'll go to Prasad. Just to your point, when I looked, we looked at the transformation model of the hero's journey. Whatever steps you're taking in this inner authority framework will add to that journey, right? So when you reflect back, maybe 5 years from now, everything will add up. But as long as you're putting in your effort, that's important. And kudos that which you're doing. Thanks for sharing, Prasad.
Thank you.
Yeah. So see, in this entire model, what really stands out for me is there are two keywords that are the takeaways for me. One is detachment, and second is observing. Right. So it is extremely important for you to detach yourself and observe. Because only when you detach yourself with whatever noise you are experiencing in the world, right, you are able to observe it as a third person, and which will enable you to take better decisions, is what I feel, right? Otherwise, if you mix yourself, or if you always put yourself first, and let's say you are trying to um, without detaching, or if you attach all these emotions to yourself, then it becomes a clutter, and then decision making becomes a little difficult.
Correct. Thanks, Prasad. Absolutely agree. The awareness is what comes from stillness, right? And awareness burns a lot of ignorance as well. So, paucity of time, we're going to move ahead. I have like a very short guided meditation for you guys. So, if you can be comfortable wherever you are, just sit on your seats. Loosen your shoulders. You can keep your eyes open or closed as you wish. Closed would be nice. Just spend some time with yourself, like Neha said. Stillness and silence always helps. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Let go. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Take another deep breath in. And let go. Wherever you are, accepting your environment. Just visualize a lantern right in front of you with the light dimming, right? The light is become dim. There is a lot of noise in the head. There's a lot of thoughts going on in your head, what we've discussed. Put the lantern right in front of you. The light is flickering. Take a breath in and breathe out. Take another breath in and breathe out. Now bringing back all the thoughts which are coming to your mind. Could be what we discussed on the inner authority framework, something which stood out for you in the conversation, in your mind, or with us. Something at work which is coming into your mind right now. Let it come. It's okay. Take another deep breath in and let go. Observe the sensations. Observe the heartbeat. And just visualize that whatever you thought of in your inner authority framework, in your body, mind, soul, social aspects, is now becoming the oil for the lantern. It's becoming the oil for the lantern, and all your efforts are making it bigger and bigger as a flame. Just visualize. Take a breath in and breathe out. Now that lantern is fully lit, and slowly and steadily rub your hands together, put them on your eyes, and open. So this is one of the techniques of unstoppable inner authority, which I have just shared in a very short glimpse. We have a very long form for it, but this is a ritual you could do anytime, any day, anywhere, anything which is happening. A reset, just pause and reset, right? Paucity of time, I'm moving ahead. So, what must remain unmistakably human now, right? That is the question. And what Prasad said, awareness, Neha said, it's about integration, right? It's about what do we do in a very dynamic way. So, passive surface, we are taking in whatever is being fed. So, there is no difference between a human and a AI technically, but the only difference is the consciousness and the awareness, which Pratishtha, Neha, Prasad, you guys are referring to. And that is what is making us little different, right, from the machine. And that is the part which you have to hold on to, the conscious participant choosing what I become. And that is going to get powered by the inner authority, protects this shift. So this is the work, guys. We might not have time. We might feel again in that transformation model. We might just go back and say, call for adventure आया था पर time नहीं था. अच्छा meditation करना था पर time नहीं था. Oh, social occasion somebody invited me. I didn't have the time. What is your model? How are you feeding it? How is that lantern going to get really charged in the times, in the day, in the night, wherever you feel like dim ho raha hai? So the power will give you responsibility, but the visibility is also an opportunity, right? You will have more power through AI, more power through what you do with your inner authority. It will make you more visible, and that is a huge opportunity anyway. But what we really want to hold on to is the human part of us, and that is something which is integral. And I really want to also share that, in this journey, why coaching matters more in the age of AI, right? So I am a trainer, I am a mentor, I'm using tools, I'm a coach. So I can tell you from experience that training gives a written manual and it transfers it as a knowledge, right? Mentoring is basically my lived knowledge and I share it with you and transfer that experience. AI is transferring options and outputs. That's it. Coaching will strengthen the self who must judge the answer. Now, what is coaching? So, in coaching, we are your thinking partner, right? So, it's not really giving you solutions like a trainer, mentor, or an AI, but it's a thinking partner who basically sort of challenges you and asks you pertinent questions and also pushes you back in a direction where you wanted to achieve. You wanted to achieve some outcomes, some goals. So this coach works along with you as a thinking partner to achieve your outcomes for you. And in the age of abundant answers right now, this, basically the self-authored thinking becomes premium. And that is also what will make us human more. The way we write, the way we speak, the way we come up with solutions. For execution, AI is there, but the judgment has to be sort of secured. And that is the space where coaching really plays a lot of role. There is another part which came up was about learning. And I think somebody asked me this question, Anirudh. Anirudh, in the age of AI, relevance belongs to learners, like I was saying, because fixed expertise will expire faster, right? This half-life is shrinking. We relearn, reskill, reorient. Leaders will need to do this repeatedly. There is no choice. There is no choice because that time is over. The era is over. I mean, we used to talk digital native kids are born. Now there are Gen Alpha is there, right? But now Gen Gamma is coming. Now Gen Gamma is going to be AI native. And what will differentiate a leader, to sort of do anything with that generation would be the discernment, the judgment skills, which we have to really work on and sharpen it. And the real risk is not AI itself, but losing the ability to learn, adapt, judge clearly. I think that is what the discussion should be. There's a lot of discussion out there, AI is happening, this is happening, we will get redundant, we lose our jobs. No, you will not lose your job. As long as you have the ability to learn, to adapt, to judge clearly, there'll always be a place and a position as long as you are climbing that transformational model, and you are sort of taking in all the signals and finding a purpose and having the courage enough to walk the path, the future belongs less to already knowing and more to the continuously learning. Absolutely, that's the case. And so AI supports leaders decide. AI will expand your options, but leaders will have to hold the consequences. So right now, in the rush of whatever's happening, right, only humans will own that ethic, context, consequence, and responsibility. And this slide, which is in front of you, you will see this more and more in the leadership forums being discussed in the times to come. I also want to show you quickly very interesting insights my guest shared on the podcast, which is relevant to this masterclass.
So you see a part of what you
Let me know if the sound is on. Sound was on?
Yes.
Okay.
It's on.
1 second.
So you see a part of what you're doing in, let's say, admin or different departments will get automated because of AI. You also spoke about something very interesting, which is application to learn is what will keep us human.
Yeah.
And prompt engineering is the way to manage AI and not get scared of AI.
There is a research now which shows that our average lifespan could go up to 100 or 120, which means we might have 80 years of working life. So that time when you learned something, graduated at 20, and it lasted you till 80, is not going to happen, right? It is being said that each of us will end up having 6 careers in our life, 6 distinct careers. I feel the ability to learn is vital today, more than what you learn.
AI where the execution speed is much higher, whereas the human brain cognitive speed is not that much.
I use it every day. We have WPP Open, where the company has spent a lot of money invested in ensuring that AI is a great tool. We see it not just as an efficiency tool, but a tool that enhances our strategic and creative possibilities. So we think better with it. I do worry that our average intelligence is falling because people aren't thinking for themselves.
And that is the conflict which I'm feeling, that I have to slow it down, I have to bring it back, and I have to say, okay, and then I get the right and then stay here, don't go ahead. And it is tempting for a human mind to see the extent of what AI can really do. So you see a part of.
There's a very interesting conversation I had with Neeraj Kabia, as most of you would be aware. He's an actor. He spoke a lot about inner authority. Just watch this.
It's not doing a project and being the leader over there. It's the moment-to-moment things that you appear as. That's what a leader is.
So there's a lot of inner work required.
Lots of inner work.
Yeah, lots of it.
inner work. There's nothing outside. Even in acting, there's nothing outside. The character you build is built within you. It only reflects itself outside. You can't create anything outside of you if it's not built inside of you. You can't have a leader just coming and talking in a very confident manner. That's not a leader. That is a pretentious person.
And that's what it's
who's trying to look confident. Yeah. Confidence needs technique.
Gravitas.
Lots
of it.
And a practice of it every day within you, where you start to build this confidence. It's not a fake thing that you should stand in a particular way that you look confident. That's fake. Speak in a powerful way so that people, that's fake. You're faking it.
So the human first workflow, which I want to leave you guys with, is there has to be a gate, right? Which is a thinking gate. So we locate the real question, we understand what's at stake, we form an original perspective. There is speed, it works very fast, and we feel that maybe, it's taken a decision, it's fine, let's just go ahead with it. Pressure distorts perception before it distorts decision, right? So if we are not fully present, aware, the pressure will start distorting our leadership style, and the decisions will be distorted, obviously. Inner authority is a leadership capability, and this is the work Unstoppable Network is invested in. to regulation, perception, discernment, ownership. And this is become need of the hour. I mean, this is something which we cannot ignore now. This is not like left to retreats or spirituality or gurus that they will come into a room and create that atmosphere and lit candles. You have to light your own lantern every day, guys. Every day. There is no other choice. Light that candle. Use AI after orientation, not as a substitute for thinking, right? But it starts with stillness, it starts with discernment, it starts with what are you doing about that as a problem solution, and then you look at wise choice of AIs. And the future belongs to leaders who remain learnable and judgment stable. And that's the reason I really wanted Rajita Kulkarni's video, and the ones who watched it. I mean, there's a lot of research in the educational industry on this. This is imperative right now. The only thing left for us to be is to be human, to be in touch with what is not taken away by technology. And that's the easiest part, but only the toughest part right now, because we are not able to distinguish between where technology ends and where human starts, or where human is and when technology should come in. And that discernment is going to come through inner authority. So you can accelerate with AI without surrendering the authorship. I'm just quickly going to rush through these frameworks, which I take deeper into the corporate workshops. I have 4 of them. The executive distortion framework. We go deeper into diagnosis for pressure, perception, and judgment. There's a pressure audit framework. There's an after the pattern framework, and there's an inner authority reset framework. So all of this as next steps, I do one-on-one coaching where we strengthen judgment, self-trust, stability under pressure. I also conduct inner authority labs of Unstoppable Network. There are B2B leadership sessions which are initiated in India and outbound. And obviously, most of you, as you're aware, we have a leadership conversation platform called the Unstoppable Women, which is gender agnostic. Unstoppable Women is nothing to do with gender. So I welcome all of you to now go deeper into what we sort of shared as a collective energy on a busy Saturday afternoon, where Dhurandhar was also part of your plans, probably. I'm really thankful that you spent time with me. AI will keep accelerating. The question is whether we remain clear enough, steady enough, and human enough to use it wisely. I also call it the inner authority for outer impact. Inner authority is what protects that. And please keep working on your inner operating system. Keep looking at the tools you want to develop within. And also, one tool you can take from today is the lantern sort of reset, which doesn't take much time. This I've already covered. This is us. You can scan to stay connected. That's my email ID on the bottom. You can quickly take the scan, guys. I can't see any of you. Let me know once you've taken the scan, and I can move on.
Shelja, can we also please go back to that slide where I think you had listed the programs and yeah,
Yes,
this one.
please. If you have any questions, please ask.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, assuming you guys have taken the scan, should I move on?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, so sorry, I had to rush the last 10 minutes, but Q&A, guys. Over to you. In one word, before the Q&A, one word for this workshop, please put it in the chat. One word.
Can we use AI to put that one word?
That's for you to decide.
Yes, of course.
Shailaja, this is Preeti here.
Hi, Preeti.
So I just scanned the QR code, and there is something called the Executive Decision Pressure Audit. Could
Yes.
you throw some light on this, please?
Yes. So there is an index which I'm working on, Preeti, which is to do with the leadership distortion index, which I showed very fleetingly. But there's a deeper session for that. That comes in the one-on-one coaching. So if you're interested, we can connect on that. that will do a deeper work on the
Sure,
areas
sure.
of distortion which you have as a leader. So we'll go deep in that. Like, I told you guys to make some notes.
Right.
Neha, I think I saw you making some notes on 2 slides. Please keep those with you in case we do meet for a one-on-one session. You can bring in those notes as well and any reflections from today. Okay, thank you guys. Some of them you have put it down. Reflective, clarity, relook and rethink, practical to deal, reassuring and aligned with self. Open to Q&A. Please ask if you have any questions. You can put your videos on. So I feel I am human. Please put your videos on.